Hi everyone, it's Colin here, and here's our new video. So this is one of the first, actually it is the first unscripted video I've ever done. I'm excited to do it. I feel like Saturdays, I try to make more professional content Monday through Fridays. Saturdays is going to be for me and you. We're just going to talk. We're going to have a good time. I'm going to tell you about something that I love in an unscripted manner. There's not going to be as much editing in it. We're just going to relax. This is a relaxing time for both of us. It's Saturday. It's the weekend. We're just going to enjoy our time. And today, I'm going to be talking about something I'm super passionate about, and that is reality TV game shows. Specifically shows like Survivor, Big Brother, The Challenge, but today specifically we're going to be talking about Big Brother. I know there's probably a lot of people, there's not a lot of people in my audience that can even relate to this or has like any interest whatsoever, but we're going to talk about it, and we're going to next season is Big Brother 22. This upcoming season should be starting a little bit later this summer. Usually starts about now. I think maybe starts in July this season, but there has been a lot of speculation that we are going to be having an all-star season. I've watched every single season of this game, and I love it to death. And I know that whenever they bring back returning cast members, they generally do a horrible job at casting. So I'm going to take it upon myself to do this casting right. I'm going to do this right by Big Brother. This is my dream All-Stars 2 cast for Big Brother 22. The rules are, has to be, I try to keep it around players that have only played one time. There are only a couple of exceptions to that rule. And then also it's Big Brother 8 to Big Brother 21. And also, I didn't include anyone from 19 because that is the worst season of all time, and nobody from that season deserves anything. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm really excited to talk about this. So another stipulation forgot to say is 10 guys, 10 girls, 20-person season. Seems about standard. All right, now we can get into it. All right, so I'll be going guys, girls, back and forth. And the first guy that I need to be talking about is not from Big Brother 21. There's no guys from Big Brother 21. It's from Big Brother 20, and that is Tyler Crispin. Tyler was the master manipulator of the game, and even though I felt like Casey did play a pretty good game, I do think Tyler got robbed at the final two. I think he definitely deserved that win that season, and he just had complete control over everything in the house from day one, essentially. So I would love to see him come back and work his magic and see if he can work his magic over a much more experienced cast and more seasoned veteran to this stuff, people who know how to play this game. For the girls, from Big Brother 21, we have Nicole. Nicole is the fan favorite. I think she's one of the most popular contestants of all time, if not definitely in the modern Big Brother era. She brings such an aura, such a positive vibe, such a wholesome vibe to the house, and I feel like that is a slot to be filled in casting, and I think she just does it perfectly. But also I didn't really think she was playing the game very hard towards the first half of her season, but when we got to the latter half, her gameplay skills really, really showed up, and she was just killing it. So I would love to see her come back on a season. Next up for the guys is also from Big Brother 20, and that is Brett Robinson. Brett is so charismatic, and you need the suave, funny, kind of just ridiculous guy who's a little pompous, but he's so funny and self-aware that you let him be pompous. He had a really interesting game, and if he did not get exposed by like JC and did not get called out for trying to take out Angela, I think he genuinely would have made the Final Four and had a good chance at winning that comp for HOH and getting into the Final Three. So I'd love to see what Brett does again, and I want to see him again on my screen. He just has such a charisma about him, you know what I mean? Next up is another person on Big Brother 20, and that is Casey. Casey needs to come back immediately. She's just so good. Big Brother 20 just had so many personalities, and she won fair and square. She did well, and I think she is that like under the radar floater. I'd love to see if she could still play this fantastic social under the radar game if she was in a season with people who know how to play it. So yeah, I think Casey 100% should and deserves to come back. Next up for the guys is Victor Arroyo from Big Brother 18. That man knows how to win competitions. We need a comp beast. You always need a comp beast, and Victor fills that role perfectly. I also liked his character arc from from villain to hero on 18. So I would love to see him maybe if he reverts back to villainous form, but also he just has that it factor, and he played a decent social game, but he would be on the lower tier of the social game on this, and you need people who aren't as great socially but are great physically. So I think Victor should be in, no questions asked. Next up for the girls is another Big Brother 20 choice. I know, I have 4 people from Big Brother 20 on here, and it's kind of insane. It's Haley. I don't think Haley got a fair shake in Big Brother 20. She was with the wrong alliance, period. She was with a bunch of bumbling buffoons who did not know how to play the game. Either that, or she was with a bunch of people who just got duped on the first vote and the second vote, and they were never able to recover from it. And I think Haley was the brains of that alliance. I can't even remember what they're called right now. Sorry about that. I know that's awful. But yeah. Oh, Faute. She was the head of that, but she had a bunch of militia that did not know at all what they were doing. So I'd love to see Haley come back and maybe play her own individual game without someone like a Fessy, without someone like a Rockstar, without someone like a Bailey, who might detract from what she's trying to do in the game. Next up for the guys is someone who needs to come back. I need to see Johnny Mac from Big Brother 17 on my screen again. That man is a wild man. He would fill up like the rogue type of personality on the show. That man is insane. He's really good at challenges, and he's also like a pretty good strategist. And he didn't really get a fair shake pre-jury on Big Brother 17. He was just kind of used as a pawn. So I would like to see him incorporate his social game in pre-jury and see just how well he can develop as a character and how well he can develop as a player amongst these other players who know how to play the game. So yeah, but more importantly, I just need the doctor, the dentist, back on my screen. Next up is another Big Brother 17 contestant, and it is Vanessa. Vanessa played what a lot of people would argue a masterful game, and even though I do not agree with that, she brings so much drama, and she has this way of manipulating people. But the question is, can she repeat that manipulation in an all-star season, or was she just so good because she played with half a house of idiots and half a house of people who just weren't willing to go against her? That is the question, and that is why Vanessa needs to be on All-Stars. Next up, the man, the myth, the legend, Derek. Derek is, in many people's eyes, the best to ever play from the modern era. And he's that in my eyes as well, unless we're counting Dan, but Dan first played in 10. I'm talking about modern era. And I think Derek is fantastic. And again, a lot of people say Derek was only as good as he was because he was in a house filled with morons, people that were just blind to how to play the game. Although I disagree with that, you had people like Frankie, you had people like Nicole, people who knew how to play the game. I want to see Derek back. I think Derek is a fantastic game player and deserves another shot to see if he can have that supremacy over the house again and just complete control, kind of another Tyler type, but he won. So he'll have more of a target on his back. So I'm interested to see how he can do if he's able to take control of a majority like he did in 16. Next up is another BB17 girl, and it is Becky. I also think Becky is someone who got an unfair shake in 17. She was in an alliance with a bunch of people who were either A, not willing to make moves, or B, not able to win competitions. And Becky has just this aura of fierceness about her, and I would have loved to see her back. I would have loved to see her last longer in the game, but that's why they took her out so early, is because they knew that she was like the glue holding that alliance together. So I want Becky back on my TV screen. Simple as that. Next up, BB16, the man, Zach Attack. Zach Rance, another Brett character, but I even found Zach more fascinating, and I think he has more of a soul to him. That man, perfect TV. I'm so surprised that Zach hasn't been back yet. I'm so surprised he either has refused calls from CBS or hasn't gotten the call from CBS, because he was by far, in my opinion, aside from Donnie, the most popular person on that cast. His Fruit Loop exit, legendary. Calling Nicole a Fruit Loop dinkus, legendary. He has the one-liners for days, and I want to see him back clashing with these like super strategic people and just being this kind of like renegade rogue type dude who's just willing to go off at a moment's notice. You know what I mean? So I really want to see Zach Rance back in this household. Next up, we got another BB17 female, and that is my girl, the best personality on reality television, period. Davon Rogers. Day needs to be back in the house again. This is where I'm kind of breaking my rule a little bit. She is so good. Every single season, she's gotten an unfair shake because the people she's worked with are either snakes or just dumb. And that's a problem, or they can't win competitions. I'd love to see Day in a house like this. If she's able to wrangle people together, or if she's better, if she's as good as I think she is, or if she is really just like a pre-jury, beginning of jury player. I need to see for myself. I need to see Davon back on my TV screen again, especially after she stopped doing the challenge. I need her back on Big Brother All-Stars 2. So I'm including this person in the game because you need villains. You need a villain archetype. And some of the next people I'm going to be talking about, but more specifically, who is a more notorious villain than Matt Hoffman from Big Brother 12? That man was a psychopath. He lied about his wife having a terminal illness, essentially, to get jury votes. If he made it to the end, that man is a wild card, and I would like to see how long he would last in a game with all of these amazing players. Would he be able to use his manipulativeness to get into their heads, or would he just like be, because I think he would either make it like mid-jury or like one of the first boots. So I'm interested to see him play again, and I want to see him play again, as wild as that man is. Next up, I tried not to include anyone from this season, but looking back on it, I think she is another villain archetype I want on here. And no, it's not anybody who's like the worst, but she is not great. And it's Amanda Zuckerman. Amanda Zuckerman, was like so good of a game player. She single-handedly destroyed the moving company. And she maneuvered her way. She hooked up with McCrae, and I cannot imagine that relationship was real inside of the house. If it was, props to McCrae. But Amanda, girl, what is you doing? No. And then they broke up right after the house, I believe. So yeah, it's a little bit of a weird situation there. But I think she would be one of the people. She has been on one of the earlier seasons on this list, and I think she has the manipulativeness in her to get pretty far. So I want Amanda back on my screen again. I know this explanation wasn't as good, but yeah. So Amanda Zuckerman back on the TV screen. I need her. Next up from Big Brother 11 is a man, a myth, a legend, and it is Kevin Campbell. Kevin is one of the most underrated social players ever. That man, I don't even remember. I don't think he won a competition, and he made it to the final 3. His social game was insane. He was on the bottom. He was in the minority alliance from like the beginning of the jury, and that man just killed it. The lie he made up to get Russell out of the house is still one of the best plays to this day, and it would have been like top 3 if he had won the season. So yeah, Kevin's someone who really doesn't get as much recognition as they deserve in the Big Brother community, and I need him back. Simple as that. Next up is a super, super underrated player from Big Brother 13, and that would be Kalia. Kalia is the girl. Kalia is another super underrated player who I think single-handedly ran the newbies, and I think played arguably the best game in Big Brother 13. I think she did. I don't think Danny Donato played a very good game because she wasn't able to shut her mouth when she needed to, and she wasn't able to like be civil in conversations essentially with her opponents, but Kalia was able to do that. Kalia had a game plan on lock, and she stuck with that game plan until she eventually got voted out. Killed it. Need her back. Someone, again, doesn't get as much recognition as she deserves. I want her back on the season. Next up from Big Brother 11 is a pick that I can guarantee nobody else makes. Like, nobody else will make this pick. Russell Kairos from Big Brother 11. That man, again, wild card. Kind of a villain, kind of an anti-hero. You saw him team up with, like, fucking Michelle in Big Brother 11. That man is physically fit. He can win comps. He's, like, kind of maniacal in a way, but he also has a soft heart at the center. He's, like, one of my favorite players of all time, and no one ever brings him up as... and no one ever brings him up as someone who should be on the season, and I do think he should be. I want to see Russell back immediately. Next up for the girls, Big Brother 10, and it is Keisha for Big Brother 10. Just such an amazing aura, so positive. She got effed over by some mean girls. She got April and Michelle. She was in an alliance that is probably my favorite alliance ever, the Rennie, Keisha, Memphis, Dan alliance. That is a so solid alliance. So I want her back on the TV, and I want to see what she can do in a season like this, especially because Big Brother 10 was not as evolved as it is now in Big Brother 22. So I'd love to see her again. She's so nice, so kind-hearted. Yeah, get me Keisha back on the screen. It would not be an all-star season, and this is where I'm breaking one of my rules, if Dan Giesling was not on it. Gotta have him back. I need Dan and Derek on a season together, and I need to see, because they will either go against each other or make the most powerful alliance of all time. Dan Giesling, in my opinion, clearly the best player. It's not even a debate. He is the best player to ever play. He's got a pretty decent YouTube following now, and I would love to see him one final time. It's not a sequel, it's a trilogy. People always ask for trilogies, and I would like his trilogy to be concluded on Big Brother All-Stars 2. And then finally, from Big Brother 8, I would love to see Jessica Eubanks back on the show. Her personality is so sweet and bubbly, but she's also such a kick-ass competitor that those two things should get her under the radar and get her to go pretty far in an All-Star season. She's like a perfect alliance member, and yeah, no, I would love to see her back on my screen. I know I've said that for like almost everybody, but she also just has just a wholesome presence about her, and would love to see her back without being tethered to an America's player who kind of ruined their game. So yeah. So that's it. That is my 20 people that I want on All-Stars 2 for Big Brother 22. Thank you guys for listening. I know this is super informal, lots of stumbles, lots of all of that, but we're just having fun. I'm just talking to you. This is just like if it was a conversation, and I think I'm going to try to do that for Saturday videos more now. I just want to sit down in front of the mic, talk to you guys. That's about it. All right. Thank you guys for all the support on the channel as well. That's been kind of wild to me, and we're almost at 1,000 subs as of recording this, and by the time this is out, we might even be at 1,000 subs. So thank you for everything, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekends, and I will talk to you on Monday. Peace.